Family. It's supposed to be our first source of love, safety, and support. But what happens when the person meant to nurture and protect us becomes a source of pain and confusion? Hi, I'm Sarah, and welcome to Toxic Truth. Today, we're diving into a complex and often misunderstood topic: the impact of a narcissistic mother on her children. Stay with us as we unravel these hidden dynamics and discover the profound impact they can have. First, let's clarify what we mean by narcissism. Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD, is characterized by a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. When these traits manifest in a mother, it deeply affects her parenting style, and, more importantly, her children. A narcissistic mother often sees her children as extensions of herself, using them to fulfill her own needs. This can lead to manipulation, emotional neglect, and an inability to provide genuine affection. But how exactly does this play out in her children's daily lives? Let's explore. Imagine living in a world where your mother's love feels like it's always out of reach. One moment, you're the center of her universe, showered with attention, affection, and praise. You feel like you finally did something right, but then, in the blink of an eye, it's as if you don't exist. This emotional roller coaster isn't just confusing. It's destabilizing. One day, you're basking in her approval, and the next, you're left wondering what you did wrong. This unpredictability creates an environment where you constantly feel the need to earn her love, and the goalposts for what earns her approval keep shifting. As a child, this can lead to a deep-seated anxiety, a constant feeling of walking on eggshells where every action is scrutinized and every mistake seems catastrophic. The love you crave is conditional, dependent on meeting her ever-changing expectations. This isn't just a bad day here or there. This is the norm, and it shapes how you see yourself and your place in the world. Children of narcissistic mothers often internalize this dynamic, believing that their worth is tied to their ability to please their mothers. This can lead to perfectionism, where you strive to be flawless in everything you do, not because you enjoy it, but because you hope it will finally secure her love. But no matter how hard you try, it's never enough. This conditional love sets the stage for lifelong struggles with self-esteem. As you grow older, you might find yourself replicating these patterns in your relationships, always trying to please others, always fearing that if you slip up, you'll lose their love too. The emotional highs and lows you experienced with your mother become the blueprint for how you expect all relationships to function. Over time, this can lead to chronic feelings of unworthiness. You might find yourself in relationships where you tolerate mistreatment, believing that love has to be earned, or you may avoid close relationships altogether. The emotional roller coaster of your childhood becomes the emotional landscape of your adult life. But this isn't where the story has to end. Understanding the dynamics of this roller coaster is the first step to getting off it. You don't have to keep riding those emotional highs and lows. There is a way to find stability and self-worth that isn't tied to anyone else's approval. Have you ever felt like you were walking on eggshells around someone who should love you unconditionally? Share your experiences in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. And remember, understanding these patterns is the first step to breaking free from them. If this topic resonates with you, and you want to learn more about navigating relationships with narcissistic individuals, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. We dive into these topics regularly, and I would love for you to join our community. The impact of a narcissistic mother doesn't end with childhood. These early experiences can shape an individual's entire life, affecting their self-esteem, relationships, and mental health. For many, this upbringing leads to chronic self-doubt, perfectionism, and even anxiety or depression. In relationships, they may struggle with intimacy, either becoming overly dependent on their partners for validation, or avoiding closeness to protect themselves from potential pain. The feeling of never being enough can cast a long shadow, but understanding this is the first step toward breaking the cycle. So what can be done to heal these deep wounds? Let's talk about some strategies. Dealing with a narcissistic parent is one of the toughest challenges anyone can face. But it's important to remember, you're not alone and you have options. Healing and moving forward is possible, and it starts with understanding and implementing effective coping strategies. Setting boundaries is crucial. It's not about punishing them, it's about protecting yourself. These boundaries are your shield, helping you maintain your sanity and self-respect. But boundaries alone aren't enough. Self-care and external support are equally essential. Therapy, especially with someone experienced in narcissistic abuse, can help you unpack emotional baggage and develop strategies for managing interactions with your narcissistic parent. Connecting with others who have walked a similar path can be incredibly validating. Have you found certain strategies helpful in dealing with a narcissistic parent? Let us know in the comments. Let's hear from some individuals who have faced this challenge and emerged stronger. Their stories remind us that healing is possible. Meet Emma. Growing up with a narcissistic mother, Emma always felt she had to earn her mother's love. Her mother's praise was fleeting and often replaced with criticism. Even as a young child, Emma felt responsible for her mother's happiness and well-being, always striving to do better to be perfect. As an adult, Emma carried these patterns into her relationships, constantly seeking validation, fearing that any misstep would lead to rejection. It wasn't until Emma started therapy that she realized her mother's behavior wasn't a reflection of her worth. She learned to set boundaries through therapy, practice self-care, and gradually rebuild her self-esteem. Today, Emma is focused on nurturing healthy relationships. Though the journey hasn't been easy, she now understands that her worth isn't tied to how well she can please others, but to who she is as a person. Now let's meet Alex. Alex's mother was highly controlling, often using guilt and manipulation to keep him under her influence. As a child, Alex quickly learned that love came with strings attached. He had to meet his mother's expectations, or he'd faced emotional withdrawal. This pattern followed Alex into adulthood, where he struggled with severe anxiety and a fear of intimacy. For years, Alex threw himself into work, avoiding close relationships to protect himself from potential rejection. But the loneliness became overwhelming. With the help of a therapist and a supportive group of friends, Alex began to understand that his mother's behavior wasn't his fault. Slowly, he allowed himself to be vulnerable, building a network of supportive relationships that helped him regain trust in others. Emma and Alex's stories illustrate that while the journey can be tough, healing and growth are achievable. Their experiences remind us that recovery is possible with the right support and mindset, even in the face of deep emotional wounds. If you relate to their stories, remember that you're not alone, and resources are available to help you on your path to recovery. The road to recovery from a narcissistic mother's influence is undoubtedly challenging, but it's also a journey towards self-discovery and empowerment. If you or someone you know is struggling with the effects of a narcissistic mother, remember that help is available. Reach out to a mental health professional, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. Thank you for watching. Remember, healing is a journey, and you're not alone. Subscribe to Toxic Truth for more insightful content. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive into how to cope with a narcissist, because understanding is the first step, but action brings change. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.